美国传染病学首席顾问佛奇正式承认美国防疫失败，而且因为我刚才前面所说的这些因素，导致美国也很难做到完全的围堵 Delta 还没有围堵，美国的第4波疫情再起，来了一个新的病毒叫 Lambda 之前我们曾经为大家报道过，在秘鲁出现，可是呢，所有的疫情都要到主要的大国才会有真正的科学研究。那个时候在秘鲁 WHO 认为它是值得注意的病毒，但并没有给予太大的关注。现在在美国有将近1000例左右，它显示出来，它对既有的疫苗也有逃脱的能力。换句话说，它很可能没有像 Delta 那么严重的病毒量，但是它比 Alpha、比 Beta、比其他我们过去所看到的变种病毒更值得注意。
After Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and Delta Plus, now there is another variant of coronavirus called Lambda. This variant of the coronavirus has spread to nearly 30 countries so far.
当全球都在担忧 Delta 变异株的高传染力和突破性感染之际，
As states combat a rise in COVID-19 cases from the Delta variant, Houston Methodist Hospital reported its first case of the Lambda variant.
7月22号，新型变异病毒 Lambda 已悄悄潜入美国。截至8月4号，全美已经通报了1053例 Lambda 感染患者，这个数字仅次于智利。
For now, the Delta variant is the all-time champion of coronavirus variants. There is this variant of interest in South America, the Lambda. It seems to evade vaccines better than Delta, but it's still unclear if it can spread as fast or possibly even faster. Some researchers believe Lambda should be upgraded to a variant of concern. They fear the WHO is underplaying the risks here. What's your take?
Well, John, the Lambda variant doesn't appear to be able to compete with Delta. We've watched it start to fade in the UK, where they're doing, great genomic surveillance. So even though it has had a lot of association with the problems in South America, and as you mentioned, now in Mexico, it isn't clear that it's the cause, and it certainly doesn't appear that it's going to be more formidable than Delta right now.
Lambda 变异病毒于2020年8月首次在秘鲁发现。今年6月，世界卫生组织将 Lambda 变异病毒列为需留意的变异株之一。而过去2个多月 ，Lambda 变异株主要在南美多国流行，包括了秘鲁、智利、阿根廷、哥伦比亚和乌拉圭等。目前，该变异株除了在欧美部分国家现踪，8月6号，日本也报告了首例 Lambda 确诊病例，患者是一名从秘鲁抵达日本羽田機場的30岁女性。
検出された時点でそのお一人というわけではなくてですね、我々まだ気づかないけれども、市中にはどんどん広がっている可能性が高いです。
7月28号，日本东京大学的研究人员在预印本平台上发表了一项新研究，指出拉姆达变异株出现了2个突变，使其出现高度传染性，而且还可能降低疫苗保护力。纽约大学格罗斯曼医学院的研究就显示，拉姆达变异株使得疫苗产生的抗体数量减少了2至3倍。目前，拉姆达变异株感染症状与新冠病毒常见症状相同，例如咳嗽、发烧、味觉丧失、嗅觉丧失等。
有专家认为 ，Lambda 可能会取代 Delta 成为下一个阶段全球流行的新冠毒株。而根据秘鲁官方统计，该国自今年4月以来报告的新增确诊病例中，高达81%的患者感染了 Lambda 变异株。值得注意的是，秘鲁的人均新冠死亡率位居世界第1，每10万名居民中就有596人死于新冠病毒。
COVID-19 has swamped South America, which has suffered a quarter of the world's deaths, even though it's less than 10% of the planet's population. Most Peruvians are unvaccinated, allowing the Lambda variant to spread and take over as the dominant strain in just a few months.
That is an early but strong suggestion that this is a more transmissible variant. Otherwise, there is no real way to explain it. And not just because I'm saying this, but because we've seen this pattern before.
秘鲁的邻国智利也遭受 Lambda 变异株入侵，感染 Lambda 的患者已达新增病例的1/3左右。让医界震惊的是，智利约有60%民众至少接种了1剂疫苗。然而，自今年春季以来，智利的新冠病例暴增，祸首正是 Lambda 变异株。可以说，因为变异病毒的出现，让南美洲没有一个国家的医疗系统能从大流行中解脱。
My mother was here and my brother both at the same time. It was hard. My brother survived, but my mother died of COVID-19. I'm still here. The grieving process is very hard. But I also take comfort knowing that they did everything they could for her. More than a year into the pandemic, these medical staff in intensive care are running on empty. It's an enormous responsibility. The number of patients has tripled, and our work conditions are far from ideal. We're short on everything, medication and medical staff too, because they're worn out. Often we struggle just to provide basic medical care. But the staff still report every free bed to the hospital administrator. Sometimes up to 30 COVID patients are waiting for a bed in intensive care. In Antioquia, we've had more patients on the waiting list than beds ever since April. We can't admit everyone in time. Even critically ill patients often wait 2 or 3 days for the ICU. They stay in the ER or even on the surgical unit.
尽管 Lambda 变异株较 Delta 变异株的病例数少了许多，但无论对抗哪一种病毒，依然需要保持高度警戒。医界表示，目前还难以确定 Lambda 的传染性有多大，但只要疫情一日未受控制，未来仍会出现不同的新冠变异病毒。唯一能控制疫情跟变种病毒的方法，就是让更多人接种疫苗。
Is there any reason to think that vaccines would not be able to either, keep up with Lambda or even other variants that we haven't even thought of yet?
Yeah, so there's not a ton of data, but there was just some preprint data that hasn't been peer-reviewed yet. But it did show that 2 doses, or that the mRNA vaccines, Moderna and Pfizer, do appear to have good neutralizing activity. So again, the message remains clear. These mRNA vaccines are superb against the virus and all of its variants. We need to make certain that everybody gets vaccinated as soon as possible, and that's really the bottom line.